I came to Malta about 4 or 5 years ago as the guest of Francis Sultana. He came to my studio in New York. Someone sent him, and when he said he was from Malta, and then actually Gozo. The word Gozo is unusual. So I recognized it. I said, I actually have something about Gozo. And he said, no, it's not possible. It's this tiny little island. I said, just wait. So I went over to a book in the library, a large book, and an old book, world ancient monuments of something, or one of these big, heavy old books, and opened it up, and there was Malta, and there was Gozo. So when I came, I was only seeing the shapes from the temples, and then I was greeted with the natural world as well. The trees, the sense of the Mediterranean. Coming from Miami, it was like someone had handed me a huge bouquet. There was a tradition here of female forms. I believe it's either 80 or 90% of the patrimony here is the female form. So to go with a female form seemed to be the direction to take. The path of least resistance was to continue the conversation as it had been going on really since ancient times, and to use the materials that are natural here. And you have two types of palms. You have the frond, the long one, the phoenix, and then you have the pomate. I used them both when I conceived of a new goddess being made not from clay, but from plant life. Bronze is something that's going to stand out and stand up and be outdoors. And the color green, not only is it evocative of the natural landscape, but that is the color that bronze wants to be. Bronze itself is copper, and probably 93–94%, and copper will turn green. So it was a natural. It's all so simple in a strange way, even the putting together of the piece, which was for me a puzzle. I had lots of pieces of things that started to come together almost in a frenzy and work its way around in a spiral and in a helix, which is how things grow, on Growth and Form. The famous book by the Frenchman Darcy Thomas is so much about how plants grow, how leaves, how everything. And you think about what the spiral is. If you look at the weather map now, they show hurricanes and how things go around like that. That helix, the growth of this piece, is nothing but that lifted up as a vertical in space. It's a natural form. All of the sites have a wonderful voice. They're material poetry. And the altars have these growth forms, the spiral forms, and the fact that they celebrate what I call the germinating seed, which is the beginning of all life, our life too, all life. So they understood, the they being our ancestral past. I say our, even though I happen to be born across the ocean, our human past. I think that Jung understood that notion of the collective consciousness. So many things evolved simultaneously around the globe. And I think because people observed the same things. They saw the seed sprout. They saw the leaf come out. They had no television. They didn't go to the movies. They watched the stars at night. They had no light. It got dark. They watched. It's a wonderful book, The Roots of Civilization. And he mentioned that the first markings on the bones were celestial patterns. They weren't 18 cows I've lent you. You know, people thought the first marks could be agricultural transactions, but no, they were really about the magic of living. When I was shown the site, I was very excited. First of all, the use of green on the buildings was going to work so well with the bronze that wanted to turn green. But secondly, I saw the old columns. So to join the conversation of the columns and the plaza with a vertical that brought back the use of the female figure, the coloration, and then to put something there that, as someone said, if a boat had pulled up here 1,000 years ago and the sailors had come ashore, they could see something that looked like what's there now. The material, the ideas, the essence of that piece. It is not part of what I call the Disneyfication of the world. It's back to the beginning in the beginning, and it's a bouquet that I would throw to this wonderful culture.